Hi guys, welcome to another quick revision video. Today we're going to look at matrices and in particular matrix multiplication. Now, apart from the fact that matrices show up very often in examinations, they also have very wide applications in many fields. So it's very important for you to learn these things. We have been given here that the matrix R is the product of two matrices P and Q. And we have been asked to solve for the unknowns V, W, and Z. So what we start by doing is to write down our matrices P, Z, 6, 4, 3, our 2 by 2 matrix multiplied by another 2 by 2 matrix, which is Q minus 2 minus 7 minus 5 W is equal to the matrix R, which is minus 46 minus 62 V and minus 31. Okay. Now something you want to keep in mind in multiplying matrices is that the number of columns that are in the first matrix has to be equal. So these are the columns. So this is column 1, this is column 2, here again column 1, column 2, and these are the rows, row 1, row 2, okay? So the number of, so here we have a 2 by 2 matrix, P. It has 2 rows and 2 columns. If we can multiply each by another matrix, cubic matrix Q, which is also 2 by 2 matrix here. If you remember, these are the rows, these are the columns, rows and columns. The columns in the first matrix, the number of columns in the first matrix has to be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. And when we multiply these two matrices together, the resulting matrix will be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, now if it was different, would have a different result here, like maybe a 2 by 3 matrix or something like that. Okay, so please keep this in mind, okay? If this property here doesn't hold, we cannot multiply these matrices because their product will be undefined, okay? So the number of columns in the first matrix has to be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix for us to multiply them. Okay, so let me clear that up so we can proceed. Right, okay, so now getting some more space here. So to perform the matrix multiplication, what we are going to do is we will start by taking the elements in the first row in the first matrix and multiply those by each of the elements in the second matrix in a very specific way. Okay, so for example, what we are going to have here now, so remember I said the resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so the value that goes here is going to be the sum of the products of these values here. So we multiply Z and minus 2 plus 6 and minus 5. That's the value that goes here. Okay, and for the second column, the first element would be the sum of the product of Z minus 7 and 6 and W. Okay, so that's what we'll do. And then for the other ones, we follow a similar pattern like that. Okay, let me just demonstrate that in the, okay, if this isn't deleting, I have to manually delete it. Okay, that usually causes problems. Let me see if I can Okay, hopefully it works. Okay, so what we have now, the multiplication is going to be with all the elements in the first row, we multiply them by the elements in the first and second columns of the second matrix. So we're going to have here z multiplied by -2 plus 6 multiplied by -5. So that's the first element of our resulting matrix. Now we add that, we also multiply this first row by the second column. So we're going to have z multiplied by -7 plus 6 multiplied by w. So that's the second element of the first row. Now we move on to the second row. Is we're going to multiply 4 and 3 by the elements in the first column, and then similarly and the elements in the second column. So we're going to have 4 multiplied by -2, and then we add that to 3 multiplied by -5. So that's the first sum. And then we do for the second column, again, we say 4 multiplied by -7 plus 3 multiplied by w. So that is what we're going to get. Okay, let's get some more space. So let's just simplify these a little bit. So here we have z times -2, -2z. 6 plus 6 times -5 is -30. And then here we have z times -7, we have -7z plus 6w. Then we have 4 times 2 is -8, plus 3 times -5 is -15. And then we have 4 times -7 is -28, plus 3w. Now these are equal to our matrix R, which is -46. I'm just wanting to write it down here to save space because I'm rendering this video to TikTok as well. So -62 V and -31. Okay. Now, what we would do is that, let me just change the color. We're now, since these matrices, remember this is PQ, right? Since PQ is equal to R, the corresponding elements also have to be equal. So remember, this is the first element of the first row. It has to be equal to this one because we say PQ is equal to R. Keep that fact in mind, okay? So therefore, we can, that's what we're going to do for all of them. So also for -7w plus 6, -7z plus 6w also has to be equal to 62 because they are corresponding elements, right? Okay, so now getting a little bit more space again, we're going to start by, let's take them one after the other. Say 1 -2z -30 is equal to 46. Now, so let's just, if we add 30 to both sides, 30 cancels here, so we have -2z is equal to -46 plus 30. We're going to subtract 30, and then we take, the answer takes the sign of the bigger number, so it's going to be -16. So therefore, minus cancels minus, and then 2 divided 16, so we have z is equal to 8. So that's our first answer. And for the second answer, we have -7z plus 6. Let me just make sure you see that. Well, I want to see it too. For the second one, we have -7z plus 6w is equal to -62. Remember, this is the second element of the first row. For PQ, it should also be the same because PQ is equal to R to the second element of the first row here. So this is equal to minus 62. Minus 62. So we say, well, we know now that Z is 8. So minus 7 times 8 plus 6W is equal to minus 62. So this is equal to minus 7 times 8 is minus 56, right? Plus 6W is equal to minus 62. Now, if we add 56 in both sides, it cancels here. So if we add 56, we add it here also. So this cancels this one. So we have 6W is equal to minus 62 plus 56 here. Remember again, we subtract 56 and then the answer takes the sign of the bigger number. So 62 minus 56, 60 minus 62 minus 50 is 12, 12 minus 6 is 6, so we have minus 6. So we divide both sides by 6, so we have W is equal to minus 1. That's our second answer. We had 2 now. We have one more to go. Let's just scroll up a little bit to see what we've got here. Now, we can see similarly here that this value should be equal to V, because for PQ, the second row, the first element is minus 18 minus 15, which is minus 23. It should be equal to V, because V is the first element of the second row here as well. So they have to be equal. So this one is simple. We simply say minus, we saw, sorry, it seems like my saving space is costing us a little bit. Let's just write that up here. Minus 8 minus 15, minus 8, and then 3 minus 8 minus 15 is equal to V. For the reasons I have already explained, minus 8 minus 15 is minus 23, equal to V. Therefore, V is equal to minus 23. So now we've found all of our values, right? We have V is equal to minus 23. We have VW is equal to minus 1, and Z is equal to, Z is equal to 8. Now, we can use one of the relations to prove that this answer is actually correct. Let me pick a different color so we don't have to scroll all the way down. If we take one of the ones we haven't dealt with yet is this minus 28 plus 3W. Now, if our answers are correct, this minus 28 plus 3W should be equal to minus 31. We have already calculated W to be equal to 1. So if we say here, so check that minus 28 plus 3W is equal to minus 31. It has to be equal because this is the second element of the second row. It has to be equal to the second element of the second row here as well. So minus 28 plus 3 times we said W is minus 1. It has to be equal to minus 31. So minus 28, 3 times minus 1 is minus 3 is equal to minus 31. So minus 28 minus 3 is minus 31, which is equal to minus 31, which checks out. So it means our equations balance. I hope you found this useful. See you on the next one. Bye.